I want to start off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching this truth according to the Bible. So, this video that I came across was posted about 3 days ago, okay, by Biblical Defenders, okay, the elder over there in, I believe, Baltimore. Okay, and he's going into this situation that IUIC has going on where they are apparently condoning or setting up adulterous relationships and allowing for wickedness to abound in their congregation. Okay, this video goes more into it and gives more detail. So we're going to react to it and pull up scriptures. But I just wanted to say beforehand that, you know, anybody that is looking at the IUIC, right, and considers them to be a legitimate gospel preaching, truth speaking organization, clearly has not seen enough from these people. Okay, Great Millstone and like-minded brothers are constantly rebuking the IUIC and other camps as well. All right, but the IUIC is the largest camp, and they are constantly going off and constantly indulging in acts of hypocrisy. Okay, so we're going to watch this and react to it. But at this point, you know, so close that we believe we're so close to the end, the return of Yahweh Shai, right, as we can see through the events playing out on the earth. You know, we have World War III on the rise. We have the chariots of the Lord flying all over the place. Okay, we have the collapse of society, right, on the brink of happening. We have the uproars of the people all over the place, all over the world. We got protests. You know, there's the scriptures say there shall be wars and there shall be rumors of wars. Okay, and all these things are happening, and we're able to discern the signs of the times that we're in. All right, so close to the end, it's really not time for people who still have questions, you know, to be playing around anymore. Because at some point, the grace period is going to end, and judgment is going to be issued forth. Okay, and part of that judgment is going to come from those chariots that everybody's seeing. Okay, those orbs, as they call them. All right, but let's just start this and we'll get into it real quick.
This man was in the truth. He was in the truth. He came up with me. We came up together. He was in the Queens camp. I was in the Bronx camp. Nick, and so he had every opportunity to stay with the truth. But we all knew, because Marshall had mercy on him, we all knew that there was a homosexual component to the way they operate. And by the way, just so you understand, and I'm going to come right back to you, sis, this is the way a homosexual would create multiple wives. He would do it this way. He would make it in secret. He would also try to find a way to make it where the wives would have permission. And he also knew what he could use to make the wives give permission: money. Right. So the woman comes with money, the wife is happy because she's getting money, and then the husband gets to have sex with her. And if he doesn't like it, he gets to stay in his monogamous relationship with his wife.
And already you can tell that you know, that whole organization is dipped neck deep into wickedness. All right, and this is the type of thing that's going on. You're gonna see one of the former IUIC members, who was a woman, come out and expose a lot of this. All right, and you know, this condoning this type of behavior and trying to keep it, you know, behind closed doors is something that they've been doing. Okay, GMS has been calling them out, right? You know, and it's obvious that in these last times that the IUIC is waxing worse and worse. Okay, then something like that's adultery, man. That's wickedness. All right, that is completely going off. Okay, and they know this. This is why the scriptures say, right, This is why the scripture say in 1 Corinthians 14 and 35, it says, and if they will learn anything, talking about the women, okay? Let's go back one verse. 1 Corinthians 14 and 34, it says, let your women keep silence in the churches. And IUIC is known for having a bunch of women in the congregation, which is going off. This is specifically why, right, the Apostle Paul put this in his epistle, okay? What you got to understand is that the women are the weaker vessel, okay? And it's quite apparent when you have a bunch of women in your congregation, it just leads to confusion and chaos, okay? This is why the brothers at GMS, we keep that completely separate from our ministry, all right? 1 Corinthians 14 and 34, let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded, okay, this is a command, to be under obedience, as also saith the law. All right, so there is no question, okay? There is no gray area. This is a command, okay? And it's in the law, right? It says they are commanded to be under obedience. Under obedience to who? Okay, it's not the pastor, right? It's not the church leaders. It's not your elders. The woman is commanded to be in all subjection to her husband, okay? This is why you keep your women separate from your ministry. It causes problems. It causes confusion. Then you end up having situations like this, like IUIC, right? Where you're having sanctioned adultery with money exchanging hands, okay? It's essentially what you're doing is you're pimping those women out, all right? And you're going to get destroyed for that, okay? Next verse. If they will learn anything, talking about these women, let them ask their husbands at home. And this is very important. The women going up in that congregation, in that church, man, putting on their purple dresses and buying their apparel online at the online store, and, you know, standing up in front of the church and mingling and mixing and talking to all the men of the congregation that's going off. The scriptures say if a woman is going to learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. That is where a woman is supposed to be getting her instruction from her husband at home. Okay, for it is a shame for women to speak in the church. Okay, now we're going to go back to this video, but we're going to understand why this situation is happening. Is because IUIC is geared toward women. Okay, it's geared to attract and to incorporate and to integrate women. Okay, and the reason why it's like that is because the IUIC knows that the more women that you have in there, the more women you have in your congregation, is automatically going to attract men, weak men. Okay, we call them simps. So the IUIC is nothing but a bunch of simps, weak men, and women running that congregation.
She gets to go on and have sex with somebody else. The only law says we just ain't got that money no more. We have to get somebody else now. It's a horrible, horrible thing to do that. It's with his wife, and she gets to go on and have sex with somebody else.
Go back
to make the wives give permission. Money. Right. So the woman comes with money. The wife is happy because she's getting money. And then the husband gets to have sex with her. And if he doesn't like it, he gets to stay in his monogamous. And then the husband gets to have sex with her. And if he doesn't like it, he gets to stay in his monogamous.
Seeing something like this is completely off, man. So what they're doing is they're setting up arrangements, okay, where a man who has a wife accepts another woman into his household, and that woman is going to come with alms, okay, or offering, all right, money, and she's going to be paying into that family. She's going to be paying into that man's household, and that's why she's allowed in, okay, and the IUIC is setting it up where that woman that comes in is paying this man, okay, which trickles down to his wife, all right. But he's going to say something else that if, they break it off, that woman that came in, okay, can go to another husband, and that's adultery. Okay, that's adultery according to the scriptures. Because as soon as a man goes in unto a woman, which means to have sex, she becomes his wife. Okay, she becomes his wife. All right. And the fact that she can now break it off, or he can break it off, or however it happens, and she is allowed to go to another man, right? Now she's committing adultery if she goes and lays with another man. Okay. She causes herself, or he causes her, to become an adulteress, and the man that comes in second, right, that she goes
relationship with his wife,
now an adulterer,
and she gets to go on and have sex with somebody else. The only loss is we just ain't got that money no more. We have to get somebody else now. It's a horrible, horrible thing to do that. It's what Puff Daddy was doing. Right. I mean, you take a girl and turn her out, and then you turn around and you use her for as money as long as you can, and when you can't, you just try to get rid of her, and you go back to your little happy family. Right. Hey, sis, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You said something when you first came on, and I wonder about it now because it may give me some insight. You said something when you first came on, and I wonder about it now because it may give me some insight.
It's just, it's frustrating, sometimes when you're listening to these congregations and they're completely and totally just destroying the scriptures, okay, completely going off. But Lord's will, we won't have to wait too much longer to see the judgment that's going to come upon these wicked men. And this is what I was talking about. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 32. It says, "But I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife," and that's what he was explaining, man. That when the woman leaves and goes to another situation from that household, right? That man now he had two wives, okay? And then the woman leaves and goes to another situation. That's called putting away. All right? It says, "But I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, saying for the cause of fornication," right? "Cause her to commit adultery." So when you put away a woman, except for the cause of fornication, right? You cause her to commit adultery. You can't just put away a woman for everything. Okay? It says, and whosoever, and this is the point, and whosoever shall marry her that is divorced committeth adultery.
And
that's the
then you
exact
turn around
situation
and
that
you
he
use her for
described. Okay, we'll
money.
listen to it again.
The wife is happy because she's getting money, and then the husband gets to have sex with her. And if he doesn't like it, he gets to stay in his monogamous relationship with his wife.
And he said he didn't say put her away because of fornication or adultery. He said if he doesn't like it, well, that's too bad if you don't like it. Okay, the scriptures say if you put her away except for saving for the cause of fornication, okay, saving for the cause of fornication, which is an unlawful sex act.
She gets to go on and have sex with somebody else.
All right.
The only loss is we just ain't got that money no more. We have to get somebody else now. It's a horrible, horrible. The only loss is we just ain't got
So it's a massive it's a sex trafficking ring. Okay. They're pimping these women out and passing them around. See, that's what they do at the IUIC. Okay. They involve their women in their congregation. They involve their women in everything that they do. They pander to the women. They try to please the woman. They try to do everything in their power to make sure that the women stay in the congregation. Why? Because women are the ones that give the money. Women are the ones that donate to the congregation. They bring in the most money. All right. So this is why they
to do that.
allow
It's what
these
Puff
things to
Daddy
go
was
on and
doing.
to
Well, I
happen.
mean, you take a
Okay, over
girl
at the
and turn her
IUIC.
out, and then you turn around and you use her for as money as long as you can, and when you can't, you just try to get rid of her and you go back to your little happy family. Hey, sis, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You said something when you first came on, and I wonder about it now because it may give me some insight. When
Okay.
you first embarked upon IUIC, did you choose them because you were under the impression that they were more pure because they had a one-on-one relationship with a man and a woman? The mix of you all later on, Cato.
And that's something that the IUIC teaches, okay? Even though they're hypocrites, okay? And I got a scripture on hypocrites too. But they're hypocrites. They teach that a man can only have one wife. All right? That's going off. Okay? The scriptures clearly say that it's all right for a man to have more than one wife. All right? So IUIC is lying again. Okay, we're going to go to Exodus 21. All right? Exodus 21 and 10. All right, where it says, if he, right, a man, take him another wife, okay? If he take him another wife, that means another, okay? That's two or more. Her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. Talking about the first wife. So if a man takes another wife, his duty, right, to his first wife, of marriage, and her raiment, her clothes, her food, he still has to perform his responsibilities to his first wife. Okay, he can't just take another wife and just, cast the first one to the side, right? And what we teach in GMS is that a man can have as many wives as he wants. Look at King Solomon. Look at King David, right? Abraham had more than one wife, right? Jacob had more than one wife. I believe it says in the scriptures. I'll try to find it real quick. Gideon had a ton of wives. He had 70 sons. Gideon did. He had many wives for many. Let's see. Okay, this is about Gideon right here, Judges 8 and 30. Gideon had 70 sons, right? That's 70 sons of his body begotten, for he had many wives. Now, the IUIC would tell Gideon that he's going off. Can you imagine that? Nate telling Gideon something? Man, Gideon will split you in half, Nate. Okay? You're not going to tell Gideon anything. And that movie, by the way, that movie 300, okay, that movie 300 with the Spartans and all that's based off the story of Gideon, okay, and Gideon's army, where he narrowed it down to 300 men, okay. But Gideon had many wives, okay. I believe Issachar was one of those tribes where they were very extremely polygynous, okay. We'll try to find it. First Chronicles. Okay. First Chronicles. Right. And their brethren. Okay, here it is right here. Right. And you got to remember all the tribes were polygynous. Okay. Meaning one man had more than one wife. This was the norm. This was normal back then. Okay. It was like an everyday occurrence. Okay. As a matter of fact, a man that only had one wife was probably a rare thing back then. It was probably seen as because and it's not just about, the physical intimacy that a man is having with women. Okay. When you have more than one wife and the more children you have, okay, you're now able to build upon what's called a power block. You're able to establish an economic power block. Okay. You have multiple streams of income coming in. You have multiple sons who are going to grow up to be strong young men who can protect the family. You have the ability to buy more land and establish more homes and buy more cattle and farm more fields. This is how men became rich back then. This is how Israelite men established their own power block. Okay, you didn't have to rely on the government. You didn't have to rely on government assistance to help you economically. You had 10, 15 sons, okay, all working, all making money and bringing it back to the father in his household. And the father would direct those funds and those resources to where they needed to go to establish a strong family structure and a strong family power block. But today, living under the Greco-Roman Empire, okay, and them having destroyed the scriptures, man, okay, having destroyed the scriptures, they now are teaching that it's a sin, all right? They're teaching that it's a sin for men to do this, when from the beginning, that was not true, okay? See, the scriptures say that the laws of the Lord are perfect. Okay. Right here. Psalms 19:7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord Yahweh is sure, making wise the simple. Okay, so the laws are perfect. And in the law, it says that a man can have as many wives as he wants. He can take another wife if he wants, right? What about the times when the Israelite men would go to war and they would see a woman that they liked, right, of another nation even, okay? They could take that woman, okay, by force, okay? These laws are all in the Torah and they're all perfect. So anybody coming against these laws, right, and the ability and the right of a man to be able to do this, you're going off and you're going to be destroyed. But this is the point I wanted to make about Issachar, okay? First Chronicles 7:4. And with them by their generations after the house of their fathers, okay? Remember how we determine what tribe and what nation you're from is by your father. Who's your daddy? What seed do you come from? All right? After the house of their fathers were bands of soldiers for war, 36,000 men, for they had many wives and sons. Okay, they had many wives. Okay, and what are we talking about here? Right, what are we talking about here? Next verse. And their brethren among all the families of Issachar, okay? And their brethren among all the families of Issachar were valiant men of might, reckon in all by their genealogies 7,000. Issachar was one of those tribes that the men had many wives, okay? Those would have, and it says that they were valiant men, and you could see that on display when they were being called the Aztecs, okay? That's where you get the idea of the Azteca warrior, all right? That was a tribe of Issachar, All right.
because
So once
you know what I
again,
mean. Now at least
IUIC
you're
going
out
on.
of that
All
madness,
right.
and a lot
Completely
of other
botching the
sisters will
scripture.
see it, and you don't have to end up like Joy Moore. Hey, boy. Hey, big fella.
It is a contract marriage. They do one for, of course, is united in Christ, and then of course they get paperwork from the white man.
And again, with the paperwork stuff, man, this is that is a Greco-Roman practice, man. Okay. Now, back in the ancient world, yeah, there would be, ceremonies like in during they would have wedding feasts. One of Yahushai's first miracle, okay, turning water into wine, was at a wedding feast. Okay. But the paperwork and the ceremony is not what makes a man and a woman husband and wife. What makes a man husband and wife? Well, let's go back to the original marriage, man. Let's get into KJV. All right. Genesis 4:1. And it says, and Adam knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain. Okay. Adam knew his wife. That means he had sex with her. Okay. Yep. Genesis chapter 4. Okay. And Adam knew Eve, his wife. Right. This is an example of what it means to become husband and wife. It's as soon as you commit the act of sex, okay? That's what consecrates the marriage. All right. Same with Isaac. Genesis 24. Right? Okay. When Isaac and Rebekah got married, how did they do that? It says, and Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent. Okay, what do you think they were doing in that tent, man? Signing a contract, signing that paperwork? Hell no. And took Rebekah, and she became his wife. How? Because he took it, man. What do you think they were doing in the tent? Okay, he knew her. Okay, and it says, and she became his wife, and he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. All right, so this is what this is how a woman becomes a man's wife, through the act of sex. Okay, so what IUIC is doing is allowing a man to have sex with another woman. She becomes his wife. But if he doesn't like it, he can send her away, and she can go be with another man. That
They
is going
go. They
off, man.
reason.
That's
They
going
support the
off.
contract. It's based on the biblical scriptures, Tobit. But I'm trying to just remember more of your question.
But with the contractual marriage, do they believe in divorce?
Okay, so yeah.
You can't say I want to break off the.
No,
How does a man
Skip forward a
commit
little bit.
adultery in the IUIC?
well, he complains about a text message sent to another friend. It was just simply a good morning, and you know how you can press the hand to wave at somebody. That's what it
Right.
was.
So she waved a hand at another man,
Yeah,
and they didn't like it.
they didn't like it. They advised for him to divorce her.
You would keep your legs closed so that you don't get passed around. Is it something?
See, waving a hand at another man, that's not adultery, man. Okay, you might not like it. You might scold her. You might say something about it. You might say, hey, don't do that again. All right. But that's not committing adultery. All right. Now, you got to be careful with these women out here nowadays. These women are completely and totally unloyal. I don't care. I don't care who you think your woman is. Every woman that is a Babylonian, westernized woman will commit adultery if you give her the chance. All right. You know, you got this situation going on with that football player, you know, that Travis Hunter guy. He just won the Heisman Trophy, and his woman was in the comment section of another man, putting heart eyes emojis and money bag emojis. This goes to show you that these Babylonian women are not worth pretty much anything. Okay, here it is that this man, Travis Hunter, he is considered the best college football player. Okay, the best player in college football today. He just won the Heisman Trophy, which is only given to the best college football player of that year. He's going to the NFL. He's already making millions of dollars in college. He's famous. They live in a mansion in Colorado, of all places. Right? And this woman still, this is just goes to show you that these women are completely and totally wicked. All of that. You are a famous, big time college football player that just won the Heisman Trophy, and you're loaded with money, and you live in a mansion in Colorado, going to the NFL, and your woman gets on social media and and gets onto another man's comment board with heart eye emojis and that little emoji that got the money sign and with the tongue sticking out. Man, I tell you what, man, the judgment of the Lord is going to be sweet. It's going to be sweet, man, when we see these women get judged. When they finally realize what they were messing around with, man. Because in this world, Esau Edom has allowed that type of thing to go on. Esau Edom has what he's done is he's gassed up these women to think that they have a certain amount of power and authority that they do not have. And unfortunately, for most of them, they're going to find out the hard way. And there will be no sympathy, okay? There will be no sympathy. As a matter of fact, we brothers, we put curses up every day on this place, okay? We put curses up to see the destruction and the judgment of the Lord come down upon Babylon the Great and its citizens every single day, men and women, because they're all wicked. All right, this is just going to show you that no woman is loyal. No woman is loyal. I don't care how long you think you've known her. I don't care. You could have kids together. You could been together for 20 years. No woman is loyal. Okay, women are naturally hypergamous. Okay, but unfortunately, you know, and let me say this. Of course, we're not talking about 100% of women. You do have those women that are doing their best and they have some level of righteousness here. Okay, but those women are few and far between. And that's why we say, you know, to the few Aquath, okay, that are sincere in listening, the few, okay, you're going to be hard pressed to find a woman that is actually genuine, okay, that is actually trying to rehearse the righteous acts. And the reason for that is because they have too much power here in America. They've been gassed up too much here in America. All right. So why would they seemingly lower their authority that they have over their own lives to submit to a man, as the scriptures say? They're not going to do that. All right. And it's going to show itself in the culture and the society today. All right. And that's what's happening. And, you know, IUIC is one of those groups that just panders to these women.
Definitely passed around, and then I don't want to attach myself to anyone else if it's not my husband.
So when he put the keys down, I'm going to show you.
All right, let's grab some scriptures, okay? Let's get Leviticus 20, and 10. And you know, the guy asked, how does a man commit adultery in IUIC? Well, it doesn't matter how a man commits adultery in IUIC. What matters is how does a man commit adultery in the eyes of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai? And it's in the law. Okay? It's written out, black and white. It's plain, man. This is the account. This is the law that states how a man commits the sin of adultery. And it says, Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 10. And it says, and the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife. Okay, I'm going to read it again. And a man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. Okay. Adultery is when a man sleeps with a woman that is already married. Okay. Adultery is 100% contingent upon the marital status of the other woman. If she's single, he just created another wife. That's all that happened. If she's married, he done committed adultery. Okay. Let's get this. Let's get this. I'm trying to see if I can get it in that. Well, you know what? Numbers. Okay, we'll get it in Gateway. Numbers 31 and 18. Okay. Let's find it in the KJV. We'll do it in the NKJV then. Okay. Well, King James 21. We'll do it right there. It says, but all the women, children, okay, these are young women. That's another way of saying virgin. Okay, so the word virgin doesn't in the scriptures doesn't always mean it doesn't always mean that a woman hasn't had sex. In this instance, it does, because if you keep reading, it says that they have not known a man. Okay. But look, it says, but all the women children, which means young women. Okay. These women were probably from the ages, from 12 to 16. Okay. These are young women. That's why it says they're women children. Okay. And it says who have not known a man. By lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. Let's read it in the AMP. But all the young girls who have not known a man intimately, meaning they have not had sex with a man, keep alive for yourselves to marry. And he's telling the warriors, right, the Israelite men that were going to battle. Okay, this is the law of the war bride. Okay, women were considered spoils of war. Okay, just like gold and silver and fine pots and all types of spices and all types of delicacies, women were considered something that you could just take. Okay, this is in the law. Okay, this is in the law that you can just take. You can take a woman. All right. Now, Numbers is not in the law, but the law does state that you can take women, okay, for yourselves. Okay. But all the young girls who have not known a man intimately, keep alive for yourselves to marry.
When the demon enters it, he takes on a demon to do this. Okay, go back. Oh, sorry.
and just another more folly spirit from IUIC that, you know, dancing around having a good time. We're gonna see if they're making videos like this and having dance parties in the congregation as soon as Jacob's Trouble starts.
Very beginning. Now watch this.
What is this, man?
I'ma stop weeping. I'ma stop crying. When I struggle.
Foolishness, man. Okay, let's go back to the scriptures. Let's get some more. Right? This is a perfect example, okay? When Paul wrote this letter to Titus, right, on the island of Crete, man, he was talking about IUIC, man. And it says, Titus 1:11, it says, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses. And that's what they're doing, man, with this foolishness. They're subverting, overthrowing the authority. They're subverting whole houses, okay? Telling a man he can only have one wife, but then secretly allowing a man to pimp out a woman and have another wife that's really not considered his wife, and signing paperwork, and money is exchanging hands. And if he doesn't like it, she can go back to another man. All of this, man, is wickedness, man. Okay, this is all wickedness. It says, whose mouths must be stopped. Actually, let's go back to the verse previous to this. Okay, verse 10, it says, for there are many unruly and vain talkers, IUIC, their whole leadership, and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, right? The people that knew that they were Israelites, okay? The Pharisees, okay? And it says, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things that they ought not for filthy lucre's sake. And at the end of the day, this is all about money. It's all about making money. Okay, bringing in women is about making money. That's why they do what they do. Jeremiah 23:1. Woe unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep. For my pasture of my pastures, saith the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. See, woe unto them, which means destruction is coming unto you if you're doing this. And what they're doing is they're scattering the sheep. They're causing their people to err. The leaders of this people cause them to err, right? Isaiah 9:16, for the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. Right, you following the doctrines of your IUIC and other groups, okay? IUBK is one of those other groups, all right? Even though we're reacting to a video that they're doing, they go off too. They go off too, okay? Let them alone. This is Matthew 15:14. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Okay. Both shall fall into the ditch. Okay.
Yeah, let me play the tape. Let me play the tape and I'll come back and get you.
Okay, so you see the spirit that is, see, GMS is different. We don't come in the same spirit, right? GMS and like-minded brothers and all the true real affiliates, they don't come in the same spirit as this folly, playful. They don't take this thing serious, man. They don't think that the Lord is actually coming down. They don't think that judgment is about to begin. Okay, they can't feel it in their spirit. Okay, because they're blinded, right? They're blinded. And this is what's going to happen, man. Isaiah 33:14. The sinners in Zion are afraid. Fearfulness hath surprised the hypocrites. And that's what IUIC, they're hypocrites. They're actors, okay? Telling you one thing, but meaning another, all right? They're actors, man. That's what the word hypocrite goes into, is means an actor. Among us, who among us shall dwell in devouring fire? Yeah, they're going to dwell in that devouring fire when the nukes, right? Those missiles come over here, along with those chariots that are going to bring those laser beams, right? That concentrated energy fire, okay? Who shall dwell with devouring fire? Who among us shall dwell with everlasting burnings? Whew. That's the judgment you don't want to take part in, man. That's that judgment that you don't want to take part in. Let's get this. 1 Peter 4:17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh. Ba'ashem HaMashiach Yahushai. Okay, so judgment is going to start with Israel. Okay, when Jacob's trouble pops off, it's going to be a massive judgment against the nation of Israel. Okay, specifically those that know they are Israelites and are teaching that they are Israelites and proclaim and take the name of Israel. Okay. It's in the name of IUIC, Israel United in Christ, which is going off because his name is not Christ. Okay, it's Yahushai, and they got a problem with proclaiming that name. Okay, that's how you know they're going to dwell in everlasting fire. Okay, and it's going to be a glorious sight to see. Lord willing, we're part of the elect, get beamed up out of here and be able to watch our enemies burn, man. And it's not just Esau, Edom, it's you wicked ass Israelites too. Okay, for the time. See, here's what Christians ignore. We don't just get on Christians and tell them that they're going off, because obviously they're going off. They don't know shit about the scriptures. Okay, that's obvious. They're all going to burn in the lake of fire, which is going to be America after the nukes hit. They're all going to be destroyed by the chariots. None of them are going up on the chariots or getting salvation. Okay, we know this. That's obvious. Christians are easy. We also get on the other Israelite groups that are going off. And I'd say most of the time, if you're watching a GMS video and they're rebuking somebody, it's probably going to be another Israelite. That's what people ignore. The men of Great Millstone and like-minded brothers that come in the same doctrine are constantly rebuking groups like IUIC, ISUPK, right? HODC, right? BOW, constantly. Sakari. And if it first began at us, begin at who? At us, Israel, the nation of Israel. What shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai? And that end is going to be that fire, that judgment. Okay, so for you Israelites that are wondering, man, should I be watching, IUIC? Should I follow ISUBK? Should I get with GMS? Listen. If you're part of the elect, the Lord is going to lead you to the correct men of the Lord, which is the men of Great Millstone. Okay, the elder apostles of Great Millstone. And you're going to learn from them and like-minded brothers that are coming in the 100% truth, true doctrine. And eventually, if you get far enough in this walk, you're going to be able to discern the difference between GMS and like-minded brothers and the other Israelite camps that are just in it for lucre, that are in it for fame, that are in it for vainglory. Okay. And this is the difference, okay? GMS is completely serious. We understand what we're doing in this thing. We understand that when we come in this thing, we're entering into an actual spiritual warfare. There's an actual warfare, okay? This is serious, real warfare, advanced level 5D chess warfare going on here, okay? We understand what we're involved in, as Elder Apostle Gabar goes into all the time. You got to understand what you're involved in when you're dealing with this, when you're dealing with the scriptures. Okay? You got to know what's going on. This is life and death. Okay? And when you got shit like this. This nigga doesn't know what the fuck he's involved in. Nobody in that room knows what they're involved in. Nobody in that room is a discerner of the times. Okay? Let's get into KJV. Matthew 16:3. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red, and the lowering, O ye hypocrites. There you go, hypocrites again. right? You can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? These niggas, they can't discern the signs of the times. They don't know what the fuck is going on. They're over here having a dance party, right? When the fuck will you ever see a Great Millstone camp doing some dumbass shit like this, man? And you'll see other camps doing shit like this, having parties, Passover parties, right? Hiring strippers to your fucking Passover, right? Dance parties on the fucking congregation floor, you know, going outside and marching and doing fucking push-ups and shit. You'll never see Great Millstone, True Blue affiliates doing some silly ass folly, okay? We don't involve ourselves in shit like this, man. We understand that we are actually in the army. We're trying to be soldiers for Yahweh Shai. This is life and death, okay? You can be killed out here for foolishness, man. Look at this shit again. Lame ass, clown ass niggas, man. And this is exactly what the Lord is coming back to destroy and to get rid of, man. This is what the Lord Yahweh Shai is gonna come back and hit this motherfucker with the goddamn laser beam. Okay? Right? He's gonna hit him with that Kamehameha. You know what I'm saying? Okay, for those of you that watch Dragon Ball, he's gonna hit him with it. He's gonna hit this nigga with a fucking beam. All right. That Dragon Ball Kamehameha, that's actually in the scriptures. That's in Habakkuk. Okay. Okay. That's in the book of Habakkuk. Let's try to get that. I'm trying to find it. Habakkuk is not a long book. It's a very short book. I believe it's in Habakkuk 2. Let's see. Maybe Habakkuk 3. Right here, Habakkuk 3 in Habakkuk chapter 3, right? In verse 4. It says, and his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand, and there was the hiding of his power. And there was the hiding of his power. Look, let's get into this word horns, okay?
Strong's H, 7161.
Yeah, horns, right?
Keren. Keren.
Strong's H, 7161.
It's keren, okay? And what does it mean? Horn of strength, flask, horn, of rays of light. Ooh, that's a beam. That's an energy beam of rays of light. Okay. It can also mean an instrument. Okay. But look, F definition of rays of light. And where were those rays of light coming out of? And his brightness was as the light. He had horns, rays of light coming out of his hand. And there was the hiding of his power. Okay. Rays of light, energy beams coming out of the hands, man. So this nigga's gonna get hit with this shit. But anyway, that's all I wanted to get on this. I don't want to say too much. I think the point has been made. You got to be careful with these groups that you listen to. Okay, you got to be careful with who you allow to lead you. As a man, right? If you got to come under the correct doctrine. And the leaders of the entire nation of Israel are the elder apostles of Great Millstone, whether you like it or not. Okay, that's why we give double honors, okay? So with that, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone,